Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Sorry, I hit the go live button and for some reason it didn't work, but I'm here now at last. Nice to see everybody here. A big shout out and thank you for the replay crew. When you watch back later, have your say and leave a comment. That would be great. And also, remember, you can watch live chat if you swipe left on the comments and select live chat replay. You'll see everything that we were chatting about during the live stream. And welcome to everybody. Let's have a quick look at who's in this evening. We have Bowtie Life saying hi to Debs. We have, let's start at the beginning, that would be good. Rob's allotment was in evening, early. Good evening, Rob. Dave from Bowtie Life is in the house. Hi, David. Jay from Ecology Today is also in the house. Hello, Jay. Hi, Debs. Debs in the house. Hello to Mel. Hi, Mel. Hope you're doing well. And hello, Jenny from the plot. Hi, Jenny. Just scroll through, see if there's anyone I've missed. Trude from Troll's Garden. Hi, all. And Steve from Steve's Allotment Garden Northeast, and he has very kindly agreed to be a moderator for me. And I think that might be. Oh, hi, welcome, Shawnee, as well. Okay, now without much ado, I would like to introduce a guest. So I'd like to introduce Kirsty of Hart's Humble Homestead. She shares her passion for homesteading and self-sufficiency with you. Think of her as your friendly guide to a more connected and fulfilling life, where she explores everything from nurturing your own garden and bringing in a bountiful harvest to discovering the treasures of nature through foraging. She often dives into delicious recipes that make the most of what you grow and find. Whether you're curious about growing your own food, learning new skills, or simply looking for inspiration to live a little more independently, you've come to the right place. So please welcome to stage. Are you ready, Kirsty, to come in? Excellent. Please welcome to stage Kirsty from Hart's Humble Homestead.
Hi,
everyone. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. I thought throw you in at the deep end so everybody can get to know you. I'm not sure if that's best or that's a bit better, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, but
whether to get to know you and to know a little bit about you, we could start with a show and tell.
Well, hi everybody. I think I know a few of you. I do know a few of you, so some of you already know about me. I have a very small area of land. I don't have much at all. After I got ill, it put an end, well, it paused our small holding dreams for a little bit. So now I do as much as I can, where I can, so I grow and make as much as possible. I want to learn everything from preserving, canning, foraging, growing. We're hoping to do meat birds this year. Everything I possibly can, just with the space I have.
Brilliant. Did you bring anything along to show?
Yes, at the moment, what we've got going, because we're doing the no spend at the moment, so we are working our way through everything. So we've been working our way through the fruit leather. So this is made with foraged items. So it's got crabapple, it's got rose hips, blackberries. I think it may have some nettle in there, I think. Foraging, the latest foraging I've done, these actually grew on the bottom of our greenhouse. We've got some sleepers around the bottom, and these are tiger tail mushrooms. So I've dried these, and I'm going to make them into a tea because the texture isn't good for eating, but they're good. They're really good for fatigue and things. So I'll be doing that in a future video. Still on foraging, I also make my own pectin from crab apples, the little sour apples that you can get on the trees. It saves you spending a fortune on jam sugar, where it's just bits of this added in. I also do pressure canning. It is a very American thing. It's not as much over here, but I do ready meals. So this is a beef stew, and this makes it shelf stable. And that's something I've done for about 3 years now, after I got the basics of water bath canning. So with water bath canning, this is a fruit cocktail I made, and because we don't have a lot of fridge and freezer space, these can just go anywhere, and they're shelf stable for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I also have
Sean the gardener's saying that to look out for wild garlic at the end of March.
Oh yes, I've still got some dried from last year, some wild garlic. So I make pesto and I dry it. And last year we made some wild garlic scones and they were really nice. So we've got a place near us. It's about 5-minute drive away. And I used to go foraging for wild garlic with my dad there. So it's nice that I still go to the same place and I've taken my children there. Just reading the Bowtie Life's comment about making their own pectin.
Yeah. So Bowtie Life, that's David. Wants to make his own pectin. Have you made a video about that yet, Kirsty?
Yes, I've got. When I made these ones, there's a pectin video on my channel. I made it on the fire pit because it's a slightly longer process. You have to really reduce the apples. So I do it on the fire pit when that's on, and then it saves the fuel costs.
Oh, that's useful. Good to know. Okay. I do have show and tells, but I don't think I can live up to that one. I think that was pretty good. I was like,
we do different things. You'll have a lot, probably different things to me.
Well, I bought 3 things. I bought like everything. All my flowers I've got to sow next month. I've got a video of what's in my grow tent at the moment, but maybe we'll look at that later on. And then I've also got a clabberculture I made from milk.
Ooh.
And I'm getting ready to make. Do you want to see the clabberculture? You went, oh, then okay.
Yes.
So, this is my show and tell. So this is what you call a clabberculture. So you leave milk at room temperature in a jar for 5 days. It needs to not be sterilized. I don't want to say the P word. You're supposed to do that to all your milk. And after 5 days, it sets, but it's really sour. It's not very pleasant. So you take a teaspoon of that and add it to another cup of milk, and you do it each day until it tastes creamy. So I've been tasting it again for a few days, and then it's okay. It's quite pleasant. It's like a really tangy yogurt.
Oh.
And now I'm happy with that. I've got the milk I've measured that is going to become my cottage cheese.
Ooh.
And what I do is I take a teaspoon of this. You can see I'll take a spoon out. See, it's really, really set. So I'm trying to work out. There we go. It's really thick. I'm going to put 2. Oh, no, I'm just going to put 1 spoon in. I'm just going to put 1 spoon in. So I put 1 spoon of that into my milk. I'm going to give it a really good mix. And at the end of this, I'm going to have a really... you're watching the first batch of cheese I will be making ever. Seeing the beginning of it live. I feel like Dave from Bowtie Life. This is a very Dave thing to do. So there we go. And by tomorrow, which will be in a video, I'm sure at some point, that will have set the same as the milk in the jar. And then I'll be ready to turn that into cottage cheese.
Oh, so does that get rid of the need for an acid? So is that just... Oh, nice.
Yes.
Because I've made cottage cheese before, but not
using lemon juice or white vinegar.
Yes.
Yeah. And the difficulty I have with that, when I start on the 1st of March, I don't have lemons and no white vinegar, and I'm not supposed to sneak to the supermarket and buy those things.
Yes.
So, or raid my cupboard. So I'm trying to find ways to make cheese and cheese products with no nasties in it, or not nasties. They wouldn't be nasties. They would just be cheats. So Sean the gardener says that it's a great idea to make your own pectin. His sister makes it for her jams. And Jay is a font of knowledge and has let us know the richest sources of pectin are citrus peels, apples, quinces, plums, and the levels being highest in slightly underripe fruit. Now, when I make blackberry jam, my grandma told me this. She said, throw some green ones in. If you're making a jelly, because you strain them out, you don't want them like green bits in your jam. Throw some green ones in, make sure you mash them really well before you strain them through your jelly bag. And you don't need to use jam sugar. You can just use regular sugar because of the higher pectin in those.
Oh, I've never needed pectin in blackberry jam. I
No.
don't know if I've never needed to use it. It always goes really thick. The plum jam's fine. Strawberries is the main one that needs a lot of pectin for me when I'm making strawberry jam.
Yep, so some cheese making there. Sean, the gardener, his daughter makes sourdough starters. It's amazing to turn it into bread. And I find the clabber feels quite similar to starting a starter day mix. There's a lot of waiting for a few days and then feeding it every day and things like that. Blackcurrant jams add apples with pectin. Now I did a blackcurrant jam and that was fine. I added some tart fruit. Barter with a gardener in warmer climates. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And Jay saying hello. Okay, so on to our main topic, otherwise we will never get there. The first thing I thought would be really useful to talk about is what is self-sufficiency and what does it mean to you? Because self-sufficiency, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. It means different things to different people. For me, I'm seeing how much of my food I can create. But what does it mean for you, Kirsty?
Similar to that, but doing it on a smaller scale. And realistically, with the space I have, I'd never be able to have enough for tea. So to me, for self-sufficiency, it's grow as much as I can or have animals for food and everything like that. But the things I can't make from our area or trade, earn the money as a to make it self-sufficient to buy the things that we can't grow here. So things like tea, or if we want sugar, because there is sugar beets and stuff, but actual sugar
need more land.
Yes, it definitely needs more land. Yes. And then there's the bees for honey that I don't have currently, but I did trade some eggs for some honey yesterday with my a friend of a family member's partner. So we do have honey now and a way of getting honey. So that's just add in what you can't make or grow, trade or try and earn the money to get it. That's what I see as self-sufficiency.
Okay, I am just, excuse me just for a minute. No. Oh no, what am I doing? Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on. I am attempting to. No, I can't do it in the live stream. I don't know why it's not working. So I can see Jay's trying to put links up for me, and I was going to try and make her an admin, but it's not working. And I don't know why. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
It's just giving me the option to put you in timeout, Jay, or delete your comment or ban you. Hang on, let me see if I can find another way to do it. No, I don't know why. While I'm live, it's not letting me make anybody admins. But thank you. I appreciate you putting that up on the screen. That's perfect. Okay. We'll carry on. Am I allowed to mention your children? I should have checked before.
Oh yes,
So,
yes.
so
Yeah.
I find it fascinating that for you, and part of your self-sufficiency, you're actually schooling your children at home.
Yes, they were in school at primary, but I did work in the school at that time too. So it's always something that I've wanted to do, and I think that's why I did my training to work in a school, because I felt like I wanted to teach my own children. And working in, I didn't really know much about it when I had them, and then we had a few incidents in school, and so we ended up home educating them. So been doing that for about 5 years now, just
Okay.
after the 2020, um, when we started home education, and they are a big part in the self-sufficiency. They've done the gardening, the RHS Gardening Awards, where you do little steps and you send little bits in and you get certificates at the end, and you get little books and things. So they've completed that. But we all have our own roles. So my youngest is in charge of the guinea pigs, doing the feed and things like that. So we all have our roles.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It says that you're a moderator now on here.
Thank you,
I
Jenny.
can't see this. I can't see the spanner next to your name, Jay. But I've sort of added you. It'll probably catch up later or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think I watched an Australian channel called Self-Sufficient Me. There's a chap, Mark, and I can't remember for the life of me. Yes, now you've got the moderator status. Yay. So he says you can't be self-sufficient in everything, be self-sufficient in something. And so for
Yes.
me, when I had a small space, I won't buy any vegetables from the beginning of June until the end of October. And I knew that I could grow all my vegetables during that time period, but I only had 3 raised beds. So I had about 4 or 5 square meters. So you have to pack a lot into that. And it
Yes.
wasn't possible to then save anything for over the winter. I think for different people, some people want to go completely off grid and they want solar power and they want a well and they want to grow all their own food. So I guess for everybody, that self-sufficiency is different. It is different. If
Yes.
anybody in the comments wants to chime in what self-sufficiency means to them, you'll be most welcome. And then I guess we move on to how much will it cost? That's a massive thing, and self-sufficiency can be really different. For me, my outgoings each year are quite expensive. I tallied it up to see, because to be honest, there's sums that I haven't really wanted to do.
Yes.
Kind of it's free food from the farm. It's free. It's free. I grow it. I don't pay for it. I don't go to the checkout. But it's not quite true. One of the things that really astounded me when I added up my feed bill, or what it will be for this year, if I were to buy the same, so obviously in the summer there's more grazing and less from the feed store feed. But if I were to feed my animals, worst case scenario, I didn't manage to feed them anything from the farm that I grew, my feed bill for my chickens and my pigs would be £2,000 for the year.
Wow.
Kevin eats most of that. Things like the shredded wood chips, I spend £150, and that's for 8 cubic meters delivered wood chip, which I need to put down so that the chickens and the pigs aren't standing in puddles. Spend about £100 a year on straw. I've got a maintenance bill. I've kind of put 500. I've rough balled it. It's just when things break, or you've got to replace a bit of wood, or something broke in the storm. So I've put down £500 there. New equipment, I spend about £500. Now the big one this year for me, because I can make a cubic meter of compost at a time, but I'm starting a flower farm in all my new gardens, £750 for my compost this year.
Have
But
you, sorry,
that is
have you bought your
15.
compost already?
No, no. This is coming from, this is municipal, so it works out at £50 per cubic meter delivered. Most of that is
Just
delivery cost.
my dad has a shop, and a pallet of compost has went up by £160 for the
Yeah.
next time he orders. So I'll just this is for everybody in the chat and everybody watching as well. If you need compost, try and get it at the places that already have it stocked before they do a new order, because it could be going up about £1.60 a bag. And
That's a lot.
yes, it's a lot.
No, mine
But
comes on a big truck, big
yes,
dumpy truck.
and we get ours on a pallet because I buy it through my dad's and through the shop. But it's, if you're needing a couple of bags, it's a big cost. So I just thought I'd let everybody know. If you can get it now, please get it now, and then it saves in the long run.
Yeah, and this is a big one. Seeds. I'm really frugal with my seeds. I sell loads. I've got lots of bags of collected seeds, and they're like the sweetie shop bags. So I haven't bought as many as I know as I might have to buy, but I've still spent £200 on seeds. But that's also
Yeah.
for a flower farm.
Oh, it's not too bad.
And vegetable seeds.
Because
My vegetable seeds were about £25, which I don't think was too bad.
So I spent £20 just on oats and grain to try. So I haven't actually added how much I've spent on seeds. But I am at a seed swap on Sunday because it's the potato day, and I'm on a no spend. My dad's getting my potatoes for me. But I'm hoping I get my seed fix by swapping seeds.
That's a good idea.
Yes. And then it doesn't add to the cost.
Yes. And I haven't got a quote for insurance, because the insurance I have at the moment is about £100 for the year. But that's just having friends and family. If I have visitors to the farm, which obviously I will during this year, and customers and anybody who wants to volunteer on the farm that aren't considered friends and family, I have to get a different insurance, and I haven't been brave enough to get the quote. So I haven't included that. But that's another thing I need to think about, and that these prices don't include infrastructure and don't include new stock, so new animals. And the total for that is £4,200. So it's quite a big, it's big. So if anyone wanted to know the figures, how much it costs me, that's how much it costs me. But I was like, I've gone quite big with like the 9 acres. I'm going all in on like all this compost and all these seeds and this big venture. Kind of, how does that compare to something like you with, how many chickens do you have?
8 currently.
8.
Yes.
How?
The price wise, so it's drastically different. So we sell our eggs, so they're actually, it covers their feed, luckily. So the feed here is about £11 a bag, and it's £3.50 for a bag of wheat that I sprout, and then that gets 4 times as much for the weight of feed. And we go through less than 1 bag of that, and then I sprout alfalfa and things for them as well. And to be honest, it only comes to about £24 a month for my chickens.
That's not bad.
Because we do, while they're in for flock down, they have I do the deeper litter method, and then in the summer they're out anyway, so we don't use a lot of bedding. It's just the straw and things. I haven't added up how much it cost me to build, because they've paid for themselves now, but nowhere near did they pay for themselves when we built the coop. But yes, for seed wise, I honestly haven't added it up. I daren't. My seed costs are probably about the same as yours, because I'm always like, oh, that looks good, I'll get that. Oh, that looks good, I'll get that. So I've got lots of, say, if I move slightly, all that's full. That's full. That's full. And I've got seeds through there. I've got a lot of seeds anyway, because I just like trying things. But I'm really reining it back what I'm growing this year to make the best use of our space.
Cool. I'm just going to run through some of the comments. So thank you, Jay. Mark Valencia is the gentleman I mentioned earlier from Self-Sufficient Me, and he's the chap that has the tagline, "You can't be self-sufficient everything, be self-sufficient in something."
Yes.
Yeah. Sean the Garda, my outgoings, I've started spending on daily tubers. Oh no, daily tubers, you'll be destitute. They are so expensive. Now all of my dahlias I'm growing from seeds. There we go. There's the dahlia seeds. Let me show you the variety. So I've got all sorts. I don't show up very well on there. Hang on, I've got some prettier ones. Oh look, got some nice pom-pom ones there. Let's see those there. And I bought all these from the Happy Green shop, which is where I also bought all my chili seeds from that people have been enjoying and commenting on my video where I potted on my chilies. So I'm quite happy with those. And that's a brilliant way to save money with dahlias, is starting from seed. And they do flower in their first year, and you think that it'd take you years to get to this plant. And the tubers, when you dig them up in the autumn, are smaller, but they're not so small that they won't store. And there is the link for Self-Sufficient Me. Thank you very much, Jay. We got Kevin is worth it, Jenny. You're absolutely right. But he is a pig, literally and metaphorically. Kevin Bacon is such a pig. Oh, he is. He is. Let me see what we got there. Joe, look out for the tree cutters. They're usually shredders. Yes, I get a lot of tree grindings from the tree surgeons. They just can't keep up with me. And the thing about when they chip the wood is they're really small, and those particles just sink into the mud. They're best left for garden paths, and I use them as a mulch where I'm planting willow and things like that a lot. What I use for the pigs and the chickens' bed is shredded woods, and so the pieces are about 6 to 8 inches long, and they're shredded strips of wood, and they kind of mesh together, and then they don't sink as much, so they last longer. So it's worth bearing in mind. I have to push everything backwards and forwards at the moment with a little work of being a farmer without a tractor. It's me pushing them up and down the hill, so I'm quite pleased that I don't have to do it that often. Yeah, if you buy your compost in the autumn, you will get a better deal. For me, I like self-sufficient in particular fruits and vegetables for as long as possible, but that comes secondary to the other benefits of gardening. You can't put a price on, which we will be talking about later, Cassie. We will. Yeah. I think that's one that you can do that can save quite a lot of money, isn't it? If you can have a patch of strawberries or blackcurrants, you get a lot of fruit, and they're the things that cost a lot of money. And for me, a no-brainer has always been rhubarb. If you go to a supermarket and look for rhubarb, first of all, it doesn't taste anywhere near as good, but then you're paying a lot of money for, I don't know how many sticks they give you, 4, maybe 5. And you look at it, you go, I've got it coming out of my ears. I've got 1 rhubarb crown, and I've got pounds and pounds of it. I'm making jam and giving it to the neighbours, and I've got to get beetroot seeds and a few others. Yep. So Sean, are you talking about Sean? Are you talking there about your large vegetables for your show or for eating? I'll get to you when you answer that at the bottom. Always buy my compost about now for sowing seeds. Yeah. Warm your compost up before you use it. Thank you very much, Jay. Today's session about self-sufficiency. Kirsty from Hart's Humble Homestead. That's the link for her channel. Kirsty would love you to come and have a look at what she does. Oh, I'm sorry, lagging. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm way behind. Chickens love lettuces and greens, obviously not your prized veggies. Yeah, they do, and I've given them loads of pumpkins. I grew so many pumpkins this year. I'm down to my last one. But yeah, and the other thing I did, I let them go mad when the cabbage whiteflies descended on my poor turnips, because they're in the same family, of course. Cabbage whites love them. And they had a lot of protein that day. We got. Yes, please hit thumbs up if you haven't. Gone bananas on daily tubers. Grow them from seed. Yes, Mark is really good. Yeah, a few people saying hi to Rob. I tried to make my own daisy this year, but they don't develop well in the garden. Yeah, but again, if you buy a packet of seeds and then sow them, it's still cheaper. Hey Jenny, some more seed suggestions. That must be a chat I've missed something on. Yep. Jenny doesn't need any encouragement. She's always at the garden centre spending too much money on poles and posts and things. Hi Claire, nice to see you in. I'm glad you made it. Let me see where we are. There's everything. Hello to. There we go. I'm usually self-sufficient in only chilies every year. Yes, Jason. Is it 120 varieties, 125 varieties, something like that? I'm not surprised you're self-sufficient in chilies.
Is there anything you're self-sufficient in, George, completely, that you've managed?
Oh, meat.
Yeah, meat.
Meat.
Fabulous. So probably the best one to be self-sufficient in.
Yes. I'm just scrolling through that. I'm sorry if I've missed anything important, because I want to get back to our topic. Did you have to sit down and talk with your usual co-host about being replaced with a human? Yeah, well, my usual co-host is sulking in the corner over there. I decided that my usual co-host, I don't know if you know this, Kirsty, I usually have a pumpkin sat beside me.
Yes.
He's Donald Trump Kim over there. And now I don't need him. He's going to get eaten. Yeah, could be self-sufficient in meat, but we don't eat beef, so you name them instead. Okay. But are you, Claire, self-sufficient in milk, or do you just have beef cattle? Yes, Jason, from allotment of a dead sent me a few select chilies, including the MA Warthog, be eating later this year. Yes, Jason very kindly sent me some, and they have all germinated. I've got some of each. I'm really excited to try some of those. Oh, they're Joe's long. They're for the challenge. I might not be brave enough. There we go. I have loads of chilies pot on already. They do. They need potting on really quickly. We used to be dairy until 2011. That's exactly like it was after the last milking. Oh, wow. So I gave up on the dairy. Trouble is, milk prices have gone down quite a lot, so it's not so good. Right, I've caught up on the chat. So next thing I thought is how we plan to cover it. So you've already kind of talked about you sell your eggs, and that covers their feed. And are there any other ways that you cover your costs before I go rambling on about?
Yes, I do some chili and tomato plants and just sell them as small plants. I also do, well, the first time last year I did the local show, so it's only something daft, so it's like 50 pence to enter, and then it's £5 if you win. So it's,
oh wow,
it's fun. It's not a big money maker or anything, but I won for eggs. I won for a syrup. I got second and third place for a few things. So I put about £4 worth of stuff in, and I came out with 20 odd pounds, I think it was,
Not bad.
which went straight on seeds. So
The
it is a
shows,
little.
the sh-
It is a little. It
yeah,
is a
the
little
shows are
top
good
up.
though.
Yes.
It gets you out there, and you like kind of promote yourself.
Well,
When you do have things for sale as well, that would
that's why
be
I've got a demand for the eggs, because we won.
prize
So
winning eggs.
yes, yeah, the prize winning eggs. So but my dad's he goes because he's part of the committee and things. And he said, "Oh, you're putting anything in?" I thought, oh, I'll just go and I might as well take my girls' eggs because we love them. And they came first, and there was some older men
Wow.
twittering on, "I've been doing this 20 years," things like that.
But you
Sorry, but
obviously
I look
don't
after my
sprout your
girls.
own corn.
Yes. But yeah, so
They top them up with alfalfa sprouts. It's like,
yes. So so they got another way we're topping we started to mealworms again. So I did buy some, and then it's just like a rotation just to keep them topped up for the protein, and that cuts down on the costs because it's only oats and the odd carrot and things that they need, and the amount of
I
protein it gives the chickens is
I did
brilliant.
mealworms, and it just took so long for the life cycle. I
Yes.
started. I worked out that I'd need so many drawers to bring them on that it would take me. I would just have to have a massive amount of space. But then I've
Yes.
not got 8 chickens, so
Yes.
that might be my
Well,
problem.
when we first did, we did it as a home education project to start with. So we had one of them tiny, stationary drawers where there's just 3 tiny drawers, and it came with a little bag of mealworms, and it did take a while. But now we do it. We've got the big stationary drawers where it's 3 drawers, and it's enough for our 8. I would need to get a second one if we got any more.
Well, top tip, I got a lot of views when I did I called it dark living beetles and growing mealworms for my chickens. And I did that video, and that I got a lot of views on that video. So maybe that's a future
Yes.
topic for a video. Oh gosh, me. So I spoilt myself and took a whole year to work out where I was going with the farm and what worked for me and what I was doing. So this year going forwards, got a best foot forwards and make a concerted effort to make some money. And so again, plant sales, I've got a lot of dahlia there that are the dwarf variety, which won't really be good for flower picking and arranging because the stems will be too short and you need the longer dahlia stems. I have got some of those, but so I've got some plants and things for sale. I'll have lots of other flowers and plant starts, and that I've got a lot of chilies growing on kind of the mainstream ones that people have heard of, like the cayennes and things like that. I plan to breed Ava if I can ever find her a husband. Because she's a rare breed.
Yes.
The only male pig that is suitable for breeding in this area is her dad, and I'm trying to not have to drive very far north to get a male pig. I think Aylesbury, I found one. I was like, oh, Aylesbury, that's like a 7-hour drive from here. So I don't mind driving that far. It's transporting the pig and what's kind for the pig. 7 hours is quite far.
Yes.
I'd have to hire transport. And I'd like to know. So anyway, there will be piglets at some point. I've got a big 0 on YouTube at the moment, but maybe in the future that will change. There may be, if there are spare vegetables, but I don't want to make myself hungry with the challenge I've got this year. So there may be some vegetables I sell. But a big thing will be the flowers. I know I can sell those because people kept asking me if they could buy them last year when they were growing in the field. I had my big patch of sunflower. It's quite a swath of them. So I know that if I start at the top of the farm with a big swath of flowers, people will see them and they will come and ask to buy them. So for me, I'm like, yes, that's going to be my dahlia patch this year. And then chickens and chicks and hatching eggs is something else I will be selling. So crossing my fingers that that all works. And that's how I'm hoping to cover my costs. But yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was keeping our costs low. And that's something that I think I'm going to work on. You've already talked about sprouting wheat for your chickens and alfalfa.
Yes.
Just other things. While you're doing that, I'm going to have a quick look through. The first thing I saw was this message. They're talking about
the pigs.
Beef. Oh, they might be talking about the pigs. I don't think that there are that few of them. I don't think so. If I had cows, then I definitely could. If I had a mainstream commercial breed where they would have a lot to send out and it would be financially viable for them, but the breed is so Ava is an Oxford Sandhian Blackbird. Because she is such a rare breed and there's so few of them, they wouldn't have enough customers to make it worth collecting and freezing it. So they don't. They definitely would if I had a mainstream and I could do it myself. Let me see. See, there we go. Dried flowers. I could do some straw flowers and statice. Loads of vegetables to give away. I'm really quickly browsing through. So do you want to talk about some of the other things you do in the way of saving money? Because I know you do loads.
Yes. A big one is learning skills, learn it to do it myself, so I'm not paying somebody to do it. I think that's the biggest money saver. And also trading with others. So seeds, vegetables, just whatever we have a glut of, trade it with something we don't have the room for, we don't grow ourselves, something we haven't had success with. I find that a big way of saving money, but the main one is learning to do it yourself or looking on marketplace for people who've bought something, got a bit sick of it, and selling it just to get rid of it. And we've saved a lot of money that way. I got my pressure canner off marketplace, and they're about £300. The Presto canners here because they're imported from America, and I paid £60 for it, and it had been used about twice. So it saved me a lot of money that way.
Yeah. No, Trude, you weren't drunk on power. I'm assuming you were referring to AI. So that's fine. It was a good valid point. Yeah. Lidl is a good place to save money. Buy seeds from there. I've bought a whole bunch of melons and pumpkins from there. 29p a packet.
The range do the Wilko ones now as well. So because Wilkinson's used to have the cheap seeds, didn't they? But I think the range must have bought them out, and the Wilko seeds are in the range for about 49p for starting from, so it's not a bad price.
I think Debs and Jenny are volunteering to put a pig in the boot of their car and drop it down to me. They're like, no. There's a lot of chit chat. There, I like to look on marketplace. That's a good way to save money. Buying secondhand. There's a lot of talk about the chat. There we go. Hi, welcome in, Robin. Nice to see you here. So, that's brilliant. Okay, so saving money. How am I saving money? So, growing pumpkins this year as feed both the pigs and the chickens worked really well, I'm just going to up that and grow even more because they could eat even more. I am going to be much more conscientious about using my chickens to turn over the compost. Now in the UK, we can't feed them anything that's come from a kitchen, but what I can do is cut any vegetable scraps and weeds and either throw that in for them to compost in their run, or make that a separate pile to anything that has kitchen waste in. I'm thinking about making in-ground worm bins for my actual kitchen waste. So it's composted separately to everything else, because all the grass clippings and manure and all those things, wood shavings and should make a good enough compost without the kitchen scraps in. So I'm going to be more conscientious about using the chickens to turn over that compost and manure it, so the compost will work quicker and feed them. I grew buckwheat for the chickens and it was going really well until the sheep found their way in, and then the buckwheat was no more, and it was annoying because the sheep would have done very well on the lovely grass and the buckwheat would have saved me a lot of money, but it didn't. What other I use so many free and recycled things. So I use instead of worrying about windbreaks and raised beds for my tulips, I use the big bulk builders bags. I cut the bottom out, bang for posts and slid that over the top, so it gives me both wind protection and something to fill up for raised beds. That was really good. And I break pallets and use pallets for all sorts of things. So yeah, that's kind of some of the ways I'm saving money. Okay, now this is quite ambiguous, and we had Cassie was talking about this earlier, saying, you know, the health benefits and things like that. Besides, it keeps disappearing. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'll pop it up one more time. It won't stay up for long. So what else does it cost? So I'm thinking in terms of energy, in terms of, you know, in my 50s, it's much harder to do energy wise, and the time it takes. What do you find is the biggest expenditure other than money that you have to lay out for?
Probably for me, apart from the energy side, is the space it takes up. So because I do as much as I can to save a lot of money, we are just in a regular house and I have a lot of equipment that does save money, so it's very space restricting. We're not a minimalistic house at all. Do you know, we've got stuff everywhere. We've got jars, you know, that's another money saving. I keep every jar we use to fill up with something dehydrated or whatever. But space is, and how much space it takes is another cost that I can think
Yeah,
of.
oh gosh, that is a huge one. I hadn't thought of that, because for me, I've got quite a bit of space.
Yes.
For me, I think it's the time. If I'm just going to feed the animals and muck the animals out and give them water, and just generally look after them, with the travel time as well, it's a minimum of 2 hours a day. Well,
Yeah.
that's 365 days a year. And then if I'm completing a task on top of that, that is additional time. So if I'm altering the chicken run or building a new coop or trimming the hedgerow or planting something, all those things are additional time on top of that. And in the summer, I can easily spend 6 hours a day there. And I say 6 hours because I now know, having tried it in the summer, I can't do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-hour days like I did in my 30s and 40s, because I'm physically not able to move the next day.
Yeah.
So I can work really hard for a couple of hours, and that kind of wear and tear on the body is a cost for me. I can work, you know, I can dig for a couple of hours if I've got to dig a trench, or I've got to lift and carry something heavy. I can do that for 1 or 2 hours, and then I need to stop. If I'm doing something mildly difficult, so battling, pruning something, dragging branches about, there's a lot of standing pruning, and that's not particularly hard. But then you're dragging all the waste away, or it's not waste. I reuse it in a different way. And a 6-hour day is about as much as I can do of physical work. And then I go home and I edit YouTube videos and things like that. But I find that the time is the thing that I have to allocate really carefully, particularly with being old. Oh, something fell over. Don't know what that was.
You okay?
Yeah, I know. I just knocked something over. I don't know what it is, but it's fine. We're still alive.
Yeah. It's a time thing is for me, but in a different way. So I have a few illnesses. I have ME and POTS. And so at the smallest of tasks can take a big toll on my body. But because I love doing this, I'd rather spend it doing the gardening stuff than something like washing up or hoovering. Do you know how much I neglect the house and spend my energy in the garden, and do it that way, because then it, like you say, is a lot the next day if you've done a bigger task.
Yeah, it's sometimes you get carried away and you think you're doing really well, and it's the next day you realize that that's so I don't know much about POTS, but
thank you. It's something I've had unofficially for most of my life, and the reason I'm so bad with it now is because I was ignored for years with it, and it wasn't until I had an operation and it seemed to set it off, and it's permanent. I did have where it used to sort of come and go on. I used to have more better days than bad days, but now for the last 3 years it's been stuck, and every day is a bad day now. But it's just doing this, doing the garden, doing the chickens. It's given me like purpose, and I can do as much as I can. My body lets me do, and I feel that contentment from it, and it's a big part of like my recovery to the best that my body will recover. So it's a big part of that. Like you mentioned about the other costs of it, but it's a bonus. The mental health cost of it is brilliant, of doing the self-sufficient journey.
Yeah, I guess that is, when you're talking about costs, you've also got to talk about I don't have to take that away. Hide the current comment. There we go. Just leave that there. But I'm sorry if I'm missing anything in the chat. It's flies, and then I try to scroll back and I can't find what I'm looking for. Yeah, that is something, I guess, in terms of mental health and well-being, it's such a benefit, and I get comments all the time about like the view I've got from where my farm is outstanding, and I know how lucky I am. And every day, I know you can get complacent and it's the same view, but yeah, I absolutely appreciate it every day. That's amazing. And if I'm having a tough day at home or something's happened, it's just my thinking space is I'm going to go to the farm and have a cup of tea in the shed. Yeah.
Mine's taking the dog and looking at trees, so it's a similar thing. I just need to be somewhere that trees are.
Yeah, so yeah, it is nice, and I think your garden is absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't mind looking upon your garden when I look at mine that's only half made. What have we got there? Oh yeah, we're all kids at heart in our heads, aren't we? Oh, excellent. Yeah, I think, and although we've talked about the wear and tear on the body, the other thing is we'd never have to pay for a gym membership, Kirsty.
No.
We're never,
It's a
We
good
get our
job, really.
steps in.
My daughter goes boxing, so that costs enough rather than a gym membership on top.
She's just like, oh, no boxing tonight. Here's the shovel. That pile of compost needs spreading on
Oh,
these
she
beds.
does. She did a chicken feed run with my dad last week, and she carried 25 kilogram bags to the boot, and the man in the shop said, "Oh, do you want me to make it easy?" And she was like, "No, because she does all the weights and everything." So she could do that, and she does it with the coal as well when the coal fire. So she's really good at lifting all that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So that, yeah, I say that there are so many benefits, and of course we're eating healthy produce
without
now.
spraying things on them. Yes.
And now when you go to the supermarket, because being able to grow enough has been quite a recent thing, and you see the fruit and vegetables, they even look more washed out and colourless than I remember. Yeah, so the health benefits are amazing. Oh no, we go. No, so yeah, Claire's saying that the motorway runs through the farm. 130 acres this side of it, but yeah, a motorway is not a fun thing to have too close to home. The A39, which some local people do call the motorway, but it's not. If anyone's been in Cornwall and seen the A39, it's just single lane traffic. Yeah, it does get busy in the summer. It's enough for me. Yeah. Now, if anybody has any questions, now it's good, because we've got to the end of our topics. If anybody has any questions they would like to ask, then now is the time. So everybody in the chat will go lovely and quiet now. Yeah. Okay, everybody's really happy in the chat. Well, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you, Kirsty. Just to remind people, you're on YouTube. Do you appear anywhere else?
I'm on Instagram as well at the same Hart Homestead.
Brilliant. Right. Oh, we've just had Jason from A Lot More Dead. What are you growing this year that's unusual? Are you growing anything unusual?
It's not unusual, but it's something that I haven't grown before. So I've got some, I'm not sure on the real name, but paprika peppers to grow on paprika. So that's unusual for us, but we're not growing unusual this year. We want to grow as much as we can of what we eat. So I'm actually cutting back the strange and unusual things. And I am going to probably regret it when I see everybody's lovely pictures of all the different colours and everything. But this year I'm really going back to basics and really doing the real food filling vegetables and fruits. The boring ones, but the ones that fill us. How about you,
Eddie? Nice to see you. So for me, I'm really honing in on, so instead of growing lots of different varieties of things, I'm really honing in. So I've got, I'm going to grow like a sauce tomato, a beefsteak tomato. I like a beefsteak tomato and salad tomato. I'm not growing lots of varieties. I'm sticking to like the 1 or 2 carrot varieties that I know really are reliable, and the same with the potatoes. I have got snake beans because the beans were sent to me very kindly, and I can't remember who sent them to me, and I feel dreadful for that. I can't remember. I think it might have been Jane from Jane's Growing Garden, and Claire from the Farmyard Garden very kindly sent me some loofah, and I don't have any undercover space, but I'm thinking I might try growing them in a low tunnel and build like put some chicken wire on the ground for them to climb over, so they're off the ground and they've got something to hang from, but in a low tunnel. So it'll be a bit of an experiment. I'm going to save some of the seeds in case it doesn't work, so I can try again next year, and hopefully I'll have
They do give a lot of seeds off, don't they? When you get the seeds from them, You never have to buy them again. I've only been successful with loofah once, and that was in the house, just like behind me in the corner. We had it up this wall here, but I've never managed to grow it outside or in a greenhouse.
Okay, Bowtie, if people want to go and have a look at Dave and Bowtie, he's going to have a pop-up live stream. He really wanted to do one now, and Jay told him off. I said no. What other animals? It's going to take a little while, Claire. I want to get some Dexter cows, but I've got to attend to my fencing, and I do need a cattle crush for the TB testing. The vets here won't come out, and I understand fully why. Standard practice when you're handling, well, you would know, large cattle. I'm considering goats, but considering how much trouble I had keeping the sheep where they were supposed to be, I don't know the goats are a good move for me. And the last question I'm going to answer today is yes, I do. Jay, have plans and money from the homestead. It's going to be a flower farm. I've joined a flower collective, so on a Monday I post what I have available, and then I cut it on a Wednesday, and we meet at a central hub, and the florists will have reserved what they want from what I have available. And then I'm hoping to do some open weekend days where people can come and pick their own, hopefully. I can always sell chickens and chicks and eggs. They seem to sell quite easily as well. I think that's it. Do you have any additional plans for earning money this year, Kirsty?
Our main aim this year is to grow as much as we can, and then anything left I will sell. But at the moment, my prime focus is on being as self-sufficient in as many things as we can for us. And then if we do have the spares, we will sell it on to buy more things in.
Okay. Right, I am going to wrap it up there because I know Dave is keen to get on live, and I will come and watch you in a minute, Dave. But thank you for joining us today. Our community is really important to us, and let's grow together. Thank you very much. And if you have enjoyed today's live, I will be back next Wednesday, and I would be really prepared to tell you what the next topic is, but I haven't planned that far. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.